What were you going to say about me needing a haircut, Kev?
No, I wouldn't do that. Are you developing old man hair though?
Why you say that?
I don't know.
By old man hair, do what? Receding hairline or?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
That was like the one thing I kind of had going for me. I enjoy my hair being short, but I never had it, like I didn't, you know what I mean? If I grow it, it'll grow.
Yeah.
Within reason, but I'm starting to realize that these corners right here,
these
corners are getting a little bare.
Yeah, they start to, it's crazy because it's sneaky, right? It like slowly just starts to disappear until next thing you know, you're shaving it. I've been getting my hair cut shorter lately just to get comfortable with no hair. Like, because when it goes, it's going, it's being cut off. Like I'm not doing it like.
I can't remember so what's Pop's situation?
Gone?
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. Since like 30 though, like I'm the
Oh, okay. Yeah. John is the same way?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because I know there are plenty of people who, like their hairline runs like when a fight breaks out at the club. Mine is definitely more, my dad's I noticed as well, is more like Homer backing into the bush, just like slowly.
I looked after I cut my locks. I had, hairline was on fresh because that was it, right? Hair had been growing for years, so it's a lot to work with. But slowly but surely, man. And you got to be careful, man. Like when you go to the shop, I've been going to the same barber since I was like 13, and I gotta remind him like, hey man, don't push my hairline back. No, you gotta be careful, bro. Like. You know what I'm saying? You see me every other week, so you like, yo, your hairline is good. But when I look in the mirror, I'm like, hey, man, this joint seems like it's moving slower.
Maybe your face is moving forward.
Maybe so, too. Yeah, I definitely got like the old man drinking face. Like, starting, you know what I mean?
Puffy combs.
Man, fitting of a person who had a birthday just 8 days ago. You know what I mean?
That's right, man. Happy birthday.
And on top of that, y'all, for Snapback for my birthday, which I'll get into in just a moment, Kev Sakota showed up, y'all. Kev actually came outside after 10:30 at night.
It was very weird.
It was strange.
It was very strange.
But it was so happy to see that you showed. Thank you for coming out, bro. I appreciate that.
Of course. Yeah. Got to. Hey, my
man came out and kicked it. That was dope.
Kicked it for about 15 minutes.
Not 15. Rough 15. It was cool, though. We had a drink. Took a picture.
Got to see all the homies.
That was dope.
Yeah.
That was fresh. The one you should have made, though. Was Fullerton this past Saturday. And I'm only shout out, I don't normally kind of, I should big up Snapback a lot more. It's basically what I do. But we had Nico Blitz and Don Famuina. So Nico Blitz killed it. You have to check him out on Twitch.
Okay.
NICO Blitz, BLITZ. Dope. Like, for real dope. Murdered it. Right?
Hold on. That's a DJ?
Mm-hmm.
That's not Babu's kid, is it?
Mm.
Oh, okay.
No.
All right.
Then we had a special guest, a surprise guest, Don Famuina. So Don Famuina is a DJ from Hawaii, from Oahu, from Kalihi to be exact. And he pulled up because his nephew had just graduated from college and he brought his family over. So we got this big party of Hawaiians, like 30 plus Hawaiians show up to the club. Aunties, uncles show up to the club. Nice, perfect. Right? So he starts DJing, right? Of course, he's playing like Hawaiian music or whatever, and he plays like straight up island music or whatever. But like, it was a jam. Like the kids would say, it was a vibe. It was super crazy. Like I'm talking aunties doing hula on the dance floor while other people are like, it was so live that I was like, okay, all right, this is crazy. So if you are ever in Hawaii, please look up Don Famuina or DJ Technique or Buddha Bud. Those DJs out there are absolute murderers, man. And you will have a good time. Guaranteed you will have a good time. But this leads me to my opening question for you.
Okay.
I thought of it at the club on Saturday. I'm like, I got to ask Kev this. As a DJ, are you slightly irritated when that people kind of refuse to dance unless they know a song? Like, are you slightly irritated that you can't get away with it? That you can on occasion, right? But that typically, you know this is a jam, but other people don't know it, so they're going to be like, I'm not going to dance to this. Does that slightly bother you?
Well, it depends. I think there's different levels to it because there's some, like with Snapback, I feel like you're drawing from a wide body of music that spans a few years, right?
Sure. Yeah,
so you can put a good set together and kind of have a good idea what's going to work and what's not going to work. That doesn't necessarily make it easier or anything like that. But I just feel like that kind of comes with the territory. I will answer it in an optimistic way because, at heart, I'm an optimist. Got a good attitude about things. Pretty positive guy.
I don't know if we should lie on this show, just like so blatantly, but okay.
Just right off top.
We're doing, you're
not even 5 minutes in.
Are we 5 minutes in yet? Oh, okay, we're roughly 5, but go ahead.
5 minutes somewhere. No, but seriously, I got over that because it's like people don't. I don't even know if it was that way when we were younger, like when people would just party because it was dope, or because they were there to have a good time or whatever and get loose. Mm-hmm. I mean, we were at hip hop things too, so it was all dudes just standing there with their arms folded or whatever. But but what I can say, and this is for real, once you get over that. If you're playing like a, what do you call it? God, I don't even remember. Open format kind of a place, like, new stuff. Get over the frustration of that happening because you'll kill yourself if you try and, get angry about that. But when they act like that, which is not every crowd, but most crowds, I do believe, if you can play stuff and intermix it with the joints that are sure shots. Mm-hmm. Get them out there and then keep them out there with stuff that they don't know. That's the most fun to me because then it's like, now I got you, Mm-hmm. It's like, it's one thing to, I don't know if I make too many, I don't think I do this anymore. I know I used to make comparisons to dating. I don't have much context anymore, but, it's one thing for a dude who's 6'2" and model looks and money falling out of his pockets and a nice ride to roll up and get a lot of attention. Mm-hmm. It's another thing to be me and try and figure out some weird way to get some attention. And succeed at any moderate level, like that's how I am with DJ. And I'm like, I'm not good at this, but if I can fool you for half an hour, I feel pretty damn good about myself.
All right. We're going to omit the last part. Okay. This is my addition, if you will, to what you're saying. So I think it bothers me. It bothers me because at Snapback lately, we've gotten into different type of music. Like, Bad Bunny is a thing, right? So with Bad Bunny, you actually go with kind of older Mexican or Hispanic singers or whatever, songs that people do not know, but the music is so good that people are dancing. And I'm like, you can do this with any genre of music. Y'all could dance if the song is good, right? So when I play a club, I don't know how to put it, but you know what I'm saying? Whether it's, Snapback old school, I don't know why all of a sudden these parents start texting like crazy. Like the group chat is going crazy. So if you can hear my phone, it's like, now? Guys? But the song that gets people up the most, no matter what format, no matter what type of vibe I'm playing.
We know what it is. We know what it is.
Well, it's Consequence Calling Me.
Oh, okay.
That song, people start looking around like, yo, I should be there. And I know they want to dance because, like, wherever they're at, they just start moving, right? That's actually my, like, when nothing's working, I just kind of, like, cut it and go directly to that. And it has, like, a 98.8 effective rate to at least get people gravitating towards the dance floor, if not on it. You know what I mean? There are plenty of songs like that out there. Just straight up grooves that people could just dance to. And it was weird watching Don Famuina and other DJs play. Like, for example, he played Hawaiian music that people were not so familiar with. So it wasn't just Common Kings and, you know what I'm saying? It was like deep in the well for people that are in Cali, at least, Southern California at least. And people were dancing to it. And I'm like, see, this is the thing. If y'all come out just to have a good time and let the DJ guide you, one, you'll see how good he is, or he or she is. Two, man, you might have the time. You might just have the time of your life that you didn't even know you could have. So it's like sometimes party. And my last little point here, and I'll throw it kind of back to you because I kind of want to have a bit of a discussion on this. The best clubs I've been to in my life. Now, one was in Sweden, so I'll count that. And I DJ'd at it, so I'm not going to say like that was the best thing because that's me. But that was one of the most fun clubs I've ever been to. APT in New York, right? Rich Medina's spot, right?
Yep.
And Juju's Soul Shoulder spot. I would guarantee that most people didn't know at least 40% of the songs they played. But they was jamming, grooving. Once they got to like, I'm talking before I knew the song. Like once they got to Fela Kuti, Water, and people are going crazy, you know the jam is like apex, right? And it's like that's kind of the way I feel about like being able to be a DJ and really flex like your not just your actual skills but your ear. And I feel like DJs are kind of like handcuffed. Their ears are handcuffed by the audience more often than not, you know?
I think that's probably right. I mean, you know, it's just reading the room, you know, I think is key. But there's definitely places where you start in like a half hour and you're like, oh, this is going to be a long night. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But APT is a prime example of a place where people were just open, you know. They were there. Yeah. They walked in open. They were there to get open. It was, they knew they were in good hands with Rich and AV and anyone else who was spinning there. You know what I mean? And there was that was the experience that you had when you went there, no matter who was DJing. There was a bunch of cats that DJ that I'm leaving out that were just always bringing it. And it was a good mix of people too, you know what I mean? Like a bunch of different kinds of people with different kinds of tastes, but all there for the same reason. Most of the time. But you know, like the place that I played when I first moved there, that I played for, you know, that spot, Happy Ending Lounge. That was every week, very often, 2 times a week. And you can ask Double O, like there were nights where we were like, oh yeah, it's going to be 2 of us drinking for quietly for most of this evening. I'm gonna run through trying my best set and see what happens. And then there were some nights where a half hour in, he'd walk in and be like, oh wow, okay, so this is what's happening tonight. And it's like, people hanging off the walls, jumping on the back of the booths, and you know, something weird going on in one of the private rooms and stuff. It's like
generally,
and then you know, from there, and this is me, I don't know if this experience for any other DJs is that like, then once you have that sort of green light, start to branch out into things that, you know, like, okay, I'm pushing you a little bit, but we're cool, right? You can handle this, right?
Yeah.
You know? It's like my daughter's taking swimming lessons, and she's had all kinds of different teachers, some that are very, very gentle, very, very, you know, accommodating. And I'm like, I've never been like, you need to drown her and see what happens. It's like, but today she started with a new teacher and I was like, oh, you're pushing her. I like this because I know she's going to sleep well and I know she needs to be pushed just a little bit more, she's going to be okay. I know you're going to take care of her if she gets in trouble or whatever, but just watching that, like, so you got to know which kind of, how to guide that, you can go. that vibe.
Yeah. I mean, unless you're like, rest in peace, Al Jackson, or Rich Medina or Icy Ice or Remark or somebody who like is just never misses. Like I've seen Icy Ice DJ for the last what would be 10 to 11 years now. Snapback, and of course prior at AD and Level 3 and all those spots. And I mean the dude just does not miss.
No. Opening,
closing, high, peak hour, like he does not miss. It's insane to watch.
Yeah, and it's and I don't want to get into because there's some DJs that like Z Trip isn't a great example because I think Z Trip is genuinely a great DJ. But when he started, he was known for the sort of that. I even hesitate to say mashup, but that's kind of what, if you had to boil it down, that's kind of what he was known for, right?
Sure.
For those first couple mixtapes that he did that were just monumentally impactful, right? And to have that rock element to what he did sort of woven through his sets. But he's the kind of DJ, I think, at least initially, when people were just getting familiar with him outside of Phoenix, I guess is where he was from, right? Mm-hmm. It was like, you were going to hear, you knew you were going to hear whatever he had to play. So people were going with that good attitude, that openness. And even if I don't know the hip hop record that he's playing under the, Simon and Garfunkel or whatever the hell he's playing, right? It's like, I'm down for this, right? I know I'm going to hear something that is interesting. And if anything, I might even learn something and get hip to something that I wasn't aware of before. Same thing with guys like this dude, DJ Girl Talk from Pittsburgh. I think is one of Z Trip's, I would say he's one of his sons, although I don't know, not to offend anybody, but he's a dude who would get on stage with a laptop. Cause he was I think like an engineer by trade, like a mechanical engineer or electric engineer or something. And he created these mixtapes that were super duper intricate. And he would get up there, take his shirt off, have a laptop, and everybody around him would just be sweating within an hour because he was just ripping and running through every little intricate mashup that he had put together. And people were just going nuts, but that's what they were there to hear. And they weren't going to hear anything that was not on the mix tape, that was not on the playlist. I don't know that he did that or does that. Z Trip can do whatever's necessary.
Yeah, he would go out.
So there's all kinds of cats. DJs who can get themselves to a place where you're going to go to hear whatever they have to play. I think that's really rarefied air for a DJ. There's only a few of them. That's great. Sometimes I'm even more impressed by people who can come in, and I kind of put Ice in this category where it's like, I know I'm not going to hear, I know I'm going to be familiar with much of the stuff that he plays because we come from the same era, especially if he's playing Snapback. Yeah. But I know I'm not going to hear the same thing in the same order every time he plays. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're mentioning people, and I would be remiss because we could go all show just naming people off. But like D Styles, D Styles gives you enough of what you know, but D Styles I have people dancing to stuff that I'm like, even I myself MCing for him once or twice, I was like, okay, now how did you get that off? Like that was crazy. It's a baby whining, or like it would be like something. Right. I mean, obviously not that far, but it would be a song that's like that. That should never go off in here, but it would go off. Z Trip, DJ Spider, of
Spider.
course, like Shortcut, like. But I feel like
for guys like Spider, it's like anything that I would go to from my 20s till now. Any club, any spot that I go to, I know is light work for him because he's been getting yelled at by club managers and drunk little girls in Vegas. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like 1,000 times as much as any problem he might have at the spot I'm at. Right. So,
Yeah. I would venture to say that if you're listening to the show and you're a club goer, whether you're, 20 something, which why are you listening to us in your 20s? But 20 something to whatever age, like go to a club with an open mind. Like go to a club ready to dance to something you don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Something you're mildly unfamiliar, but the groove gets you. And I feel like you have a better time at a club, and I've been working at it for years. I'm more of an MC than a DJ. I feel like you have a better time at a club or a better time at a show, or even a better time listening to a record. At the end of the show, we'll get into discography discussion because I finished the De La Soul discography. We'll talk about it. But even a record where it's like unexpected, like, okay, this record is not exactly like the last record. You know, just an open-minded audience makes the artistry better to me. But, you know, that's my opinion.
I think that's probably the statement of the podcast, because people will not have a good time at a bar or a club or a picnic or barbecue because they don't want to have a good attitude about not just the music, but about the people who are there, about the food that's being served, about the way the drinks are being poured, about where they had to park their car, about what they are wearing that somebody else happens to be wearing the same thing. It's like people enjoy finding things to be a little bit negative about, you know.
Yep.
You're looking at one of them, but I've gotten a little bit better at it. And, you know, and then I appreciate certain aspects. I know how hard certain things are just because I've been around it enough. I know how hard it is to serve drinks. I know how hard it is to watch somebody have to serve drinks, never having done it, to not ever want to give somebody a super hard time unless something really weird happens, right?
Yeah.
And most people just don't walk into the spot thinking that. They think that they deserve to have their song played and their drink poured immediately and, you know, and all those things. So, you know, I don't know how much, you know, we're going to be
don't be
talking
whack
to
at
those
the
folks.
Don't be whack at the club. Like, don't be whack when you out anywhere, really. But, all right, so let's get to the other side, Kevin. You ready?
Oh, man, I'm tired now. Yeah.
Let's go.
Rap Sucks Radio. Blah, 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 blah.
What up, y'all? You are live on Rap Sucks Radio with your homeboy Trek Life and your fam, Kev Sakota.
I know you're playing all this old stuff, but if you play the Ice Spice and Taylor Swift, I think people would really, really, really like that.
My favorite thing to do to those people, if the dance floor is cracking, is point to the dance floor. Oh, yeah. You're the only one not dancing. That's one of my favorite things. You're the only one in here not dancing. Go dance with them. Mm-hmm. Thank y'all for tuning in, man. We appreciate each and every one of y'all. The Play Some Bad Bunny thing is funny to me, and I actually got a lot of respect for that campaign because that's a thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, Play Some Bad Bunny is a thing that all DJs and people who like him know. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's a saying. It's pretty funny. Anyway, thank y'all for tuning in. We appreciate each and every one of y'all. If you'd like to catch past episodes of our show, you can go to rapsucksradio.com or any of your favorite podcasting platforms. And if you would like to catch this show on television or on your laptop, if you like to see us at least, go to BTSN Behind the Scenes Network. You download the app or channel on your Roku or any of your Amazon Fire devices. Click on it. We are right there. We're also at btsn.watch. If you'd like to check us, on your laptop, you can catch us on social media, Rap Sucks Radio on Instagram, and RSR Podcast on Facebook. That's where you find us. Word up. All right, let's get into these topics, Kev.
Well, so wait, I got a quick question though. So people just walk up and yell, play Bad Bunny, and that's a thing? Yeah,
like they'll either play some Bad Bunny is like a funny kind of request, but it's a thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, people will jokingly say it. The DJs will jokingly say it to each other because that's a common request in a way that, you know what I'm saying, people request. Like, I mean, play some Bad Bunny is not like obscure, but it is their little cult following thing, or be beyond a cult following, but his following's thing. Yeah.
Good for him, man.
Hey, that's smart. It's very smart.
It is. Just think what would have happened if Nelly would have come up with that.
Oh, man. So I'm going to tell you one thing.
Oh, gosh.
I roll with that Eagle beat, and I have for quite a while. I thought he was like, that was like the worst, his worst, because I'm like, you don't belong anywhere on this beat.
I don't even know what that is.
If he just did the hook to drop down and get your eagle on, and like Busta rhymed on it, like if I found a version of Eagle with Busta rapping on it, I'll be like, yo, that's the jam. So, you know what I'm saying? And even with Nelly
all
on the
I
hook,
recognized
like,
in that sentence was Busta.
You don't know to drop down and get your eagle on, joint. That's fresh.
I don't think so.
That beat is crazy. Neptunes did the beat. Nelly shouldn't have been nowhere near the beat. He shouldn't even. They should have locked him out of the studio. And
so that beat is half Asian.
Like, that beat is half man, half amazing. They should have. Yeah, they should have literally. Yeah, he shouldn't have been nowhere near that joint.
If it's not Super Thug, if it's not Super Thug, I'm not listening to it.
Man, you tripping. Super Thug's crazy too. Neptunes are stupid. All right, we got to get into the topics though.
Okay.
We haven't even introduced the episode. Episode title for this is Our Pod's Structural Integrity Remains Strong. Shut up, Kev.
It's true.
True. Look, everyone's been
about 2 miles down strong, but it's relatively strong. So, surface, sea level, strong as hell. I gotta say,
above sea level, even better. Everybody has been a submarine expert over the last week.
What's up with that?
I'm like this, and I don't want to make this too deep or whatever, so I'm gonna try to chill. But I don't want to lose, regardless of how the world moves. I don't want to lose my empathy for human beings.
Of course,
right? So say they billionaires and they deserve to die that way or whatever. Or they were stupid. I get if you wouldn't have made that. I get it. Like I'm not trying to like press anybody to make any decisions or say anything they wouldn't. I'm just like, man, like. Nah, I just let people have it. Like this was one of them. When these type of things happen and people feel a certain way about like the individuals and then they're making comparisons to another tragedy and why are you crying about this and not crying about that and whatever. Mm-hmm. And it's like, all right. But can I say something real quick about Kev? Kind of a dumb argument that we kind of roll with, but it's really a stupid argument is, niggas die every day, B. Here's the thing. Yeah, and when you are around or note death, you note it. Like, let's say you don't. You're driving on driving and a funeral procession passes you or whatever. You note that,
right?
You don't. It's not like you don't acknowledge death when you're aware of it. So to say that death is happening every day and we should acknowledge all of it, like we're aware, but it's when it's brought to your attention, you feel something. You know what I mean? So I think that niggas die every day B is like a really dumb response. Like, oh, well, how come you're not crying about, Uncle Cleo? I know that somebody's uncle passed. It just wasn't presented to me. But if somebody puts up a GoFundMe that I don't even know, I'll feel something about it. Mm-hmm. In the same way, if you present like a submarine and people dying in a submarine or some people trying to migrate, and die, like I'm going to feel a way when death is presented. And so don't like chastise people for that. You know what I'm saying? For like feeling something. That's where I'm at with that. As far as the integrity, not a voyage I would go on, that's for sure. I'd be uncomfortable at Disneyland.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And that was the thing. My annoyance is always the various reactions to it. Sure. Like to your point, I wasn't thinking about a Titan submersible 3 weeks ago. And 3 weeks from now, I'm not going to be thinking about Titan submersible. Unless they find him alive.
Well,
but I'm not,
that's done.
Even then, not likely to think about it too much. Because it doesn't really touch my life all that much. Because I'm not that invested. But so everyone's got an opinion or whatever. To the point that it annoyed me so much that when there were headlines with James Cameron's name in it, and them. I was like, man, you couldn't even get that second movie off for like 30 years. Why do we want to know about your opinion on this topic, B? And then I was like, oh, wait, maybe he actually does know something about it. And I was like, oh, yeah, he does. He's kind of like an expert on this stuff. So, you know, yeah, maybe I'd rather hear from him. That's how bad it is, though. It makes me and so now I'm mad at him because, oh, no, so now I'm the asshole.
Well, yeah.
So I'm still mad at James Cameron just for a different reason. Now for a more valid reason. Yeah.
That's fair, too.
You know, and that's kind of the case with everything, right? You hear from all the idiots before you hear from somebody who knows anything.
Experts.
By the way, wasn't the CEO on the thing?
He passed away.
CEO, some people who were probably, I would assume a couple of them were not necessarily experts, but obviously interested in the subject matter, right? Seeing the wreckage and had the money to be able to participate or whatever. It's like the captain went down with the ship. There was at least one other dude who was done it several times. It's like, man, if you're going to go out.
I don't know, man.
You know.
I guess what do you want me to say, man? Like when people are like, oh, hype, I'm like, all right, you win, they dead. I don't know. What did you gain? Like, I don't understand.
You know what else pissed me off? All the people who are like, kill the rich all the time, all day long, kill the rich, kill the billionaires, all that stuff, which I get it. It's kind of a bit or whatever, but then they're all like, prayers to the to the people. I was like, yeah, you kind of took a U-turn there, buddy.
Okay, at the risk of losing every fan of this show, I'm gonna say this, and this was a thought that came to mind. Again, I haven't discussed this. I'll discuss it on my show. It's my show. This is where I talk about these things. But I didn't go on and immediately feel like I needed to comment on this situation or subject or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
My commentary is not going to bring anything to it, right? When Kobe Bryant passed away in a helicopter crash, wasn't that a millionaire doing something that we all don't have the financial ability to do in dying?
Yeah.
So should he have died because he was rich? Like, where is it selective? Is it everyone who's rich? Is it, you know what I'm saying? Like, do we know the intentions or purpose or beliefs or thoughts of everybody that was in that submersible? Like, I'm just careful to, again, I understand it. I understand that billionaires and millionaires and rich people have been exacting tyranny on poor people and us in the middle class for quite a while. I get that. I'm not saying I don't understand it. What I'm saying is, man, they gone now. Like, I don't really know what to celebrate. And it's not like the tyranny stops because they in the they gone. Like, okay, now where we fighting at now? You know what I mean? So, I mean, I'm saying can you cry for Kobe Bryant and then also cheer for this? Like, I feel like, yeah, it's not a submersible. Yeah, it's a helicopter, but it's not a common way of travel for the average person. I won't speak for your money. I know I can't do that.
Well, everybody has a different risk tolerance, and if you have the more money you have, if you have a high risk tolerance level,
sure,
you can buy yourself a higher amount of potential risk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The one thing is, people start counting up how much it costs to go and search for them and all that stuff, which I understand that, but I don't think they went and searched for these people because, I don't know, was it 5 guys, 6 guys, whatever it was, 4 guys? Because it was 5 rich white dudes. I don't think that was the reason they went and searched for them, because it was all over the news and they were missing.
They search for people. At the risk of speaking on behalf of the state that I don't like to speak on, I mean, Hawaiians have an issue with tourists who go to places on the islands that they're not supposed to go, that they say, this is not safe, and they spend hundreds of thousands of dollars those are people at my income level, right? There are people who sail out to sea at near my income level. Maybe they rent, they go search for them. Like, when it's a tragedy, they go to search. Now, the news coverage may or may not have been different, but it is a very unique event to have this submarine or submersible go down to a something is iconic for being sunk as the Titanic and then itself sink, right? So that's newsworthy from a unique perspective. I don't think that the coverage was a slight to anyone, and I don't think that the rescue and recovery attempt was a slight to anyone. They would rescue and recover anyone, attempt to anyone out at sea at that point, right? Yeah. So counting that is like counting if I get lost at sea, like, oh, how much money did it take to find track? It's like, well, probably more than I'm worth at that point. You know what I'm saying? Like, automatically, as soon as I'm swept out past the reef or whatever, it's too much to come get me. You might as well let me go on and drift out. I can't afford to. When y'all bring me back, I can't afford it. So that's a silly argument too. I mean, I don't know. I don't like the idea of telling people how to feel because I understand people's opinions or whatever. I just kind of feel like people really like the idea of dark humor, but not everybody's a comedian or as good at it, right? So we're supposed to just enjoy your humor because what? I mean, I don't know. But whatever, y'all do y'all thing. Go ahead.
What I will say, though, for myself is that I still aspire to have the untold riches at some point in my life, to earn the untold riches to be able to participate in whatever risky activity I want. Just, and God forbid I don't make it, knowing that my ultimate legacy would be getting roasted on Facebook by, somebody's uncle or whatever.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Yeah, me not doing it and being rich, like, oh no, you guys don't like me. What am I gonna do now? Like, I'm like that now, and I ain't got no money. Like, whatever. Buy me a drink and hate me if you want.
Like, I don't care that it was an Xbox controller. You can't even afford an Xbox. Is there
exactly? No, legit. I was thinking, like, man, I wonder if I should buy a PlayStation for my birthday, right? I'm just gonna buy myself a PlayStation, Kev, because I like the little Star Wars games and I play them. Like, I actually play them joint. Man, I looked at the price of a PlayStation, yo, and it's been a thought, like a legit, like, man, I don't want nothing in my life to happen financially and me to look up and have a PlayStation. Like, I would feel like, man, this stupid PlayStation. You know what I'm saying? Like if something happened, like, yo, heaven forbid, I would just be like, man, listen. But I got a place. I'll be so mad at that PlayStation. So I'm in that. I couldn't afford the Xbox controller that was in that.
So that's why you just settled for those Taylor Swift tickets?
Man, I bought all of them. For 5 in the front row. 10 grand each.
All right, 50 Cent.
All right, let's jump to the topic, man. Let's get ready to bumble. Topic number 1. Mark Zuckerberg's MMA trainer says he's not sure how a cage fight would play out between Meta CEO and Elon Musk. BusinessInsider.com is where this report came from, although this story is all over the news right now as well. Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, and Zuck's trainer are the players involved. Mark Zuckerberg's been training with pro MMA fighter Kai the Shadow Wu since September of last year. Weighing in on Zuckerberg's planned showdown with Tesla CEO Elon Musk, Wu told Forbes, I just go and train. I can only speak on how hard he works. He works really hard. He's a really nice guy, to be honest with you. I'm not sure how the fight will play out, so I don't want to speculate. But I'm like you. I'm like, how crazy is this? Right? After Musk hit out at Meta's rumored plans to launch a Twitter rival, a Twitter user warned him to be careful because Zuckerberg practices jiu-jitsu. Musk tweeted, I'm up for a cage match if he is, LOL. Zuckerberg responded in an Instagram story and said, send me your location. On a Twitter space Saturday, Musk said, I haven't started training yet. If it does happen, I will train. Bloomberg's Ashley Vance, who hosted the space, warned Musk that it could go badly because Zuckerberg takes the Brazilian martial art pretty seriously. Musk admitted that's possible and said to the fight plans, I think it might actually happen. Kev, do you think it'll actually happen?
I hope so. I like everything about this.
Do you really?
Everyone's a winner, as far as I'm concerned. This is what happens when Elon fires his trust and safety department. What do you think is going to happen?
No. I don't. I think it's all a joke. Two rich dudes running their mouth and using their platforms to run their mouths. I mean, I don't know. I didn't think that Dennis Rodman and Karl Malone would ever wrestle, and they did. So there's that too, right?
I just think there's too much ego here for it not to happen at this point.
Think so?
Like, do you really want to get asked what happened for the rest of the time that you're in a completely different line of work, which you were in before you ran your mouth. But now every time you go and do like some product unveiling, someone's going to ask you, who chickened out? You know what? I wish what they need to do, I would love for the two of them to fight that lady from backstage at the Mayweather.
Nah, she got too much.
She's taking all comers.
She got more hands than anybody needs.
You could put Shadow Wu in there, and he could help them out. She probably still whooped that ass.
That shit got hella hands. All right, okay. So I'm gonna answer your question directly though. Would I rather be asked who chickened out? Okay, I'll give you the another scenario. Would you rather have to ask or avoid the question who chickened out on the fight, or would you like to have that meme of you being pinned, and people making up Jordan crying faces versions of you for the rest of your life because you in an arm bar screaming for bloody, you know what I'm saying? And it's like Elon Musk's Twitter is failing and that people are using images of you getting tossed around by Mark Zuckerberg. Like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I just hope that Mark Zuckerberg doesn't do it on an island in Hawaii that he's blocked off from the natives or locals that want to spend time on the island, because that's basically how he built his home. With all that being said,
does he live with Kareem?
Come on, bro.
What happened?
Right? Or Obama.
Pew pew.
Shots fired. Shots fired a lot. Nah, listen, man. I don't think it's going to. Elon Musk is too. I would say he's actually too smart for that.
Well, we'll find out. It'll be fun. You know what? Of all the things related to Twitter, even remotely, this is definitely the most fun to watch.
He needs to fight homeboy that the former CEO of Twitter.
Oh, Jack?
Because if Blue Sky actually does blow up, Twitter gonna go bye or decrease quite a bit in value. So.
Well,
we'll see. Topic number 2. This is a really sad story, Kev.
Yeah.
This is a very sad story. Topic title is 1-star passenger rating. The reason an Uber driver dies after being shot on US 54, a woman is now charged with murder. This is the ElPasoTimes.com reported. It's an Uber driver passenger who will only use Lyft after prison if she gets out of prison. Listen, 3 weeks ago, Daniel Garcia, the sole provider of his household, began working as an Uber driver. He began his shift by picking up a passenger at 7 a.m. and ending around 2 p.m. On June 16, 2 days before my birthday, the day of Tupac's birthday, he picked up his last customer, irrelevant to the article, by the way, picked up his last customer of the day around 2:20 p.m., Kev. His family hadn't heard from him again. They started calling hospitals, trying to see if he was there, and then someone had mentioned the article that came out about an Uber driver being shot. Piedra picked up Phoebe Copas, 48, of Tompkinsville, Kentucky, and was taking her to Speaking Rock Entertainment Center to meet with her boyfriend. Right? As they drove, Copas saw traffic signs that showed the words Juarez, Mexico. That allegedly led her to believe, Kev, that Piedra was attempting to kidnap her and take her across the border. Okay. In quotes. What we were told originally was that the lady saw the sign on the freeway and it said it was Mexico. Piedra's niece said, and then she panicked and she thought that Mr. Garcia was kidnapping her. And so her instinct, she shot him in the head multiple times. What, Kev?
Crazy.
Yeah. Go ahead, Kev.
It's, not a fun story.
No, it's not a typical Rap 6 radio story.
It's crazy because it's like the tragic intersection of so many things we have a problem with in this country. First of all, I don't know if she just said that she's from Kentucky or if she was, had moved to Texas. But I know Texas is a different animal when it comes to guns and all that, but she got a strap in her purse. If she's just visiting, she's carrying that thing across state lines. That's a little bit of a problem.
Right.
Border policy is probably a little bit of a problem. General stupidity is probably a little bit of a problem. Something that we are not experts at by any stretch. Generally the treatment of women is not something we're really good at here in this country. Not that this dude did any of those things. He was just trying to do his job, right? But I think there are probably a few different ways that she wishes she would have handled it. I'm sure she's thought through them way more than I have. But yeah, this is pretty bananas because I've been to El Paso, just to, and I don't think it's a huge city, in the grand scheme of things, in one of the largest states in the country, but you're right there on the border.
If
you don't know that, if you don't know that, then you might want to get a ride from somebody that you trust a little more than an Uber driver.
I'm just saying, Waters is literally like you
just walk across the bridge.
You could literally walk around. Yeah, it's right there. Like you can see it on the freeway, the train track, like it's right there. How did you not? But you mentioned, and this is something that I had to think about, and this brings up a kind of a point for me, an empathy and understanding and attempting to be that on a regular basis. It's my goal. I would say that is my personal goal. I do not achieve it at all times. When what's her name? Kathleen Bryant, the Emmett Till's accuser.
Oh yeah,
died. Like I was like, it was. I couldn't find.
I don't even think I could keep my mouth shut on that one.
Yeah, like I was like, oh. Okay.
And by the way, also let's be real. There are definitely things that I don't go on Facebook or Twitter or whatever and just start thumb thugging or whatever. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty good at that. Generally, sure. She was an exception to that. I think I might have even posted something or something.
Yeah, I couldn't really hold like there's that, but
I think that's not any better. I'm thinking it all day long.
Is it? Is it not any better? Like no.
Is it? Is it? I mean, if I'm thinking like, what are you doing 2 miles under the surface of the ocean? I don't get it. But you know what? Do I need to tell everybody else that I don't get it? No, they don't get it either.
I don't agree. That's a comedian's thing, and I don't agree with that. Like, well, all of you are thinking it. I'm like, yeah, but it's bound in other thoughts. We work through the thought, right? Like for example, in this situation, my immediate response was like, come on, man, you just killed this man. But a thing that you mentioned was the treatment of women and the actual genuine fear she could have had in that moment.
Absolutely.
Because
100%.
Those things can happen, not particularly with a Mexican driver or a Mexican man specifically, but with a man, period, point blank. Mm-hmm. These things can happen. So her fear is understandable, actually, very much so. Now, her reaction is resulting in a long-term prison sentence, very likely, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not sure. People may or may disagree with the wording "tragic" here, but this is the definition of tragic to me, right? An understandable circumstances that ends horribly. That if it was going the way that she thought it was going to go, would have ended horribly. Like it could have gone a lot of different ways, but. I do question, and first time I went to El Paso, I kind of immediately recognized that the border was on the freeway. It wasn't hard to see it. Like it was like, oh, and the streets and the freeway signs clearly say like there's an exit that takes you into Mexico, right? Like so I mean, I don't know when she fell asleep. Like, she must have got right in the car at the airport and knocked out. Because like, as soon as you turn, like, the directions are all there, you know?
Well, that's the thing. There's so many questions that you know, the articles don't answer because they, you know, they wrote it quickly, I'm sure, and probably didn't, you know, take the time to sort through some of the issues. And at the end of the day, a man is dead. But, you know, like I said, don't know if she just moved there, if she's familiar with the area or not. Sounds like she's probably not, because she was concerned. She misread the sign. You know, there are times when I've jumped in an Uber when it's like, I'm not suited to drive. So I'm going to have somebody else drive me. Maybe that's affecting judgment. Maybe there was again, I don't know anything about this man. He's an American. Maybe she was trying to ask him what was going on, and maybe there was a bit of a language barrier or something like that. Any of this stuff could have been happening, right? Did he deserve to die? No. Should she pull the gun out on him? Probably not. No. You know what I mean? It's like, and also, my daughter is going to be so tired of me telling her everything to do when you get in a car with somebody else, especially if you don't know that person, and an Uber driver is somebody you just don't know, right? But you have a phone. You can get on Google Maps. You know your boyfriend's address. If she got a gun, I'm hoping he got a gun. It's like, type in that address and let him know, come out. Come out hot. Well, it's like,
my suggestion to my daughter, and I suggested this to my sister at some point. She's in New York, and the text messages were a little strange to me, and I was like, yo, it turned out to be normal, but it turned out to be fine, but I didn't like how she was communicating with me. You know what I'm saying? She was on her way to the airport, so I'm like,
what, didn't sound normal? Didn't sound like her? Didn't
sound normal to me. It was just, it turned out that her service was interrupted between text, and she couldn't respond to me as quickly as I was texting her or whatever, but I'm like, drop your location.
Right.
And I can follow, I can go to Uber, I can follow where you are. Like, for my daughters, that'll be the same way. As soon as you get into the car, you share your location, so I can follow the ride all the way to wherever you are. And when you get out, you let me know you made it safe. Does that completely prevent anything horrible from happening? Absolutely not. But at the very least, there's some information to go off of in case something does happen, right? Some lead. Yeah. Some information.
And it's all, you know, Monday morning quarterbacking, but I mean,
sure.
You know, there are many things that you might have to deal with in Uber. It might be, you know, too much cologne or bad house music or whatever, at least here in LA, but,
bad house music LA is, yes. Good grief.
But, you know, getting trafficked into a foreign country is probably not one of those things. Not that you shouldn't be, obviously she was concerned about it, but, you know, there are things that can be done. And who knows? Maybe she did it and she still felt, you know, in danger.
Yeah, maybe she was just like, no, I'm about to plug this dude.
Hey.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sad.
It's very unfortunate and to the family of Mr. Garcia, man, like, again, this is why I think niggas die every day. B is a stupid, because I don't know this family, but I feel something. They lost their father. You can feel something when people die. Like, it's not like, yo, you got to stop feeling things because we don't feel it. It's like, anyway, okay, let me get away. Topic number 3, Kev. Live Lesmas. Man arrested after gun found in quesadilla. Kev. KIRO7.com. It's a source. Players involved in Devin P. Mitchell and Taco Bell. Okay. In a news release, I'm not even trying it. Police department said officers with the department's neighborhood enhancement team made a traffic stop on East Canal Street. During the traffic stop, Devin P. Mitchell, the passenger, reportedly had a handgun inside a quesadilla inside a Taco Bell. How did it even? Also searched the car.
It's a loaded quesadilla.
That is great. Great, Kev. Is that why you shared this article? Like, did you have this joke?
No, I got more.
All right. Officers searched the car and found meth, liquid heroin, and drug paraphernalia that were in distribution amounts, according to the news outlet. Probably also in the Taco Bell case. Anyway.
He supersized it.
That's why it's like a laxative. Anyway. Mitchell was arrested and charged with possession of a controlled substance with intent to distribute while in possession of a firearm, possession of a controlled substance, tampering with physical evidence, possession of a weapon by a felon, and possession of paraphernalia. Kept possession of a controlled substance with intent to distribute while in possession of a firearm. Is that the full charge?
You know what they call that at Circus Circus?
Monday?
Jackpot. Yeah, I was gonna say, you know what else they called it? Tuesday.
Exactly. Yeah, I feel like Circus Circus is made of meth at this point. That's the residue. Anyway, the driver, Olivia Neff, was cited for disregard for a traffic device, and
I hope she wasn't an Uber driver.
Oh my God, that is the worst.
That'd be the worst.
That would be horrible, man. Yeah, I mean, possession of a controlled substance with intent to distribute seems like the charge. While in possession of a firearm is like, okay, so that's like one charge? Okay. Anyway, that's weird. That's like one long sentence charge, but Kev, go ahead.
Much like the last topic, this story is also a tragic intersection of so many things that are wrong in this country, but this time it's all specifically a Taco Bell.
Okay.
Taco Bell is a microcosm for everything that is wrong. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsor, the Dorito Loco Chalupa.
Bro, Taco Bell might as well be prune juice. It's clearing you out. You can feel how you want to feel.
You know what I want to see is a YouTube video of the where are they now of that damn Chihuahua.
Gone. It would be a Arial font, lowercase, white font on black background. Right? So just picture that. And whatever happened to it'd be a picture of them in the commercials, and then they'd break down what happened to them. And that, gone, Arial font, lowercase, white, period.
There'd be little wings on him?
With nothing. It would just, that would be it, and they'd move on to the next segment. And it would be said, and my voiceover going, gone. And then they'd be like, now, Macaulay Culkin. Like, it would just, they'd just move on to the next person. Ain't no backstory. Bro out. Bro been out for years probably at this point.
Oh.
He not the world's oldest Chihuahua. Matter of fact, there's probably 2 or 3 Chihuahuas in that commercial alone.
Oh, like stunt doubles?
Yeah, like, it probably ain't the same one, to be honest with you. Replace this ass in the middle. Like, we've been feeding this dog Taco Bell. You're not even supposed to feed them table food, let alone Taco Bell. That dog gone man. That's how we should end the show. Black background, white font, lowercase Arial, period. Gone.
Oh, but not forgotten.
Hey, post that as an image one day on Instagram. I just want to see how many people have listened to this episode and just die laughing at the thought of that. Like, without even, if they read it the same way I'm saying it. Oh man. Anyway,
that's the t-shirt. That's the t-shirt.
How fucking big was the quesadilla, by the way?
Telling you, man. It's like loco size.
For real. Strap size. Like you said, it was loaded.
9mm quesadilla.
Get the quesadilla. What would you like on? Nah, I want the stash box version. Oh, okay. My bad. We get those. We gotta go get that. Those in the back.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's too much.
Who's gonna clean that gun?
For real. That gun shoots diabetes like straight. just
hollow point high blood pressure.
For real, immediately. They start shooting you with that gun, nothing's coming out, and it's like, what's gonna happen? Oh, you'll see later. Gun shoots pure diarrhea. You'll find out in a minute. All right, we gotta get out of here. We've gone too far. Gun shoots future diarrhea. Yo, thank y'all for tuning in, man. We appreciate each and every one of y'all. I do want to get into the discography discussion, but we'll flip it on the next discussion. I want y'all to do me a favor.
By the way, my favorite rapper from the Double XL freshman list is Future Diarrhea.
Oh, yo,
I love his work.
Future Diarrhea is. Hey, when these Rap Sucks Made Radio mugs come out, y'all never know what to be on these things.
Nothing better than drinking your morning coffee from a mug that says in a lowercase Arial font, Future Diarrhea.
Diarrhea. Hey,
Gone.
Listen. Gone. Gone. We doing these mugs, man. We doing these mugs. Though. Trust me, y'all. They gonna come out in some way. Don't worry about it.
We're doing Rap Sucks Radio quesadillas. Quesadilla holsters.
All day. Quesadilla holsters should be the lick.
For all you forward-thinking states out there.
Hey, coffee does make, does help with movement. So, future diarrhea might actually be accurate.
Diarrhea. Yeah. All
right, look,
we got
man,
your diarrhea mug and your Second Amendment quesadilla.
Let's get out of here, too. Thank y'all for tuning in, man. We appreciate each and every one of y'all. Catch us at rap6radio.com and Instagram. Rap6radio.com and Instagram. Rap6radio.com for all your past episodes. Go to Rap Sucks Radio on Instagram or RSR Podcast on Facebook. I am your homeboy, Track Life. That dude over there is your fam, Kev Sakota.
But.
That was the sound of him shitting in the...
It's the toilet.
It's the toilet
echo
sound.
In the toilet.
Getting the initial quesadilla that he ate out. Yo, man, we holler at y'all, man. We out of here like last year on the count of three. We say gone. 1, 2, 3. Gone.
Gone.
Peace, y'all. We out.